Alright, we are back with another video. So this is the fourth one and the last one. So this is an update on my record collection. So let's see here. What we got here, this is Meteora by Linkin Park. So this was my favorite album when I was a kid. I mean, it's obviously not anymore. But anyways, I was kind of like one of those edgy kids that loved new metal and stuff like that. And I would watch like Shadow the Hedgehog AMV videos and have this playing in the background. That's how I found out about Linkin Park. Which
So you always bought albums, huh?
Yeah. It's alright. It's alright. Just That's right. So anyways, this had Numb on it. That was the first song I heard by them, was Numb, and that was my favorite song growing up. And I think like they probably get a lot of hate from people that grew out of them, you know, because they're kind of one of the groups that's popular and everyone knows about them. And then it's just, I don't know. I don't know if people think it's a bit better if you're into something that not a lot of people have heard about. I don't know, but I honestly still think that this album holds up really well. And I think it's better than Hybrid Theory, the previous album, which I also like a lot. But even as a kid, this is my favorite release by them as a kid. And it was the first CD I bought. Anyways, there's just a lot of, unfortunately, Chester Bennington passed away by suicide. Rest in peace.
What?
The vocalist of the group, he hung himself.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, but it's too bad. But yeah, rest in peace, Chester. So, anyways, so this album combines like it's a new metal album, but it also combines stuff like obviously rap and stuff like that, turntable, but it also combines like electronic music and stuff like trip hop, some industrial here and there, some really catchy hooks and really gritty riffs, and Chester's a really good vocalist too, and Mike Shinoda's a really good rapper. I'll say that, and like really good release. Anyways, next up, we have Diaspora Problems by Soul Glow. They are the Pennsylvania hardcore punk band. So, like a little Cookie Monster on it. Cool. Anyways, so this album is a very, very political album, and a lot of their politics do with far left politics like Marxism and communism and anarchism and stuff like that, which I consider myself on the left. I don't really dig into stuff like that though. But some of the stuff here I agree with, not all of it, but still a really good release. And it also mixes like rap and stuff like that. And really it has some pretty diverse sounds too, actually. And some of the most unique vocal delivery I think I've heard in a long time. I can maybe see some people just think it just sounds like random gibberish, but I get it. I like it. So there's also some rapping on there and some stuff like some metal influence and stuff like that, even some electronics here and there. There's even like one part where it just turns into a death metal song, which I thought was really cool. But this is one of my favorite albums of 2022. Really, really like this release. Really great album and one of the best punk albums I've heard in a long time. Really good stuff. Next up, we have Challengers, the soundtrack to the movie that came out this year, has Zendaya in it, done by Trent Reznor and Atticus Ross, which I feel like should just go by Nine Inch Nails at this point if they do soundtracks, because they confirmed that Atticus Ross is a member and Trent Reznor is the only other person in the band, so it's basically just Nine Inch Nails just doing a soundtrack that's really, really awesome. Some of the best techno music I've heard in decades. So, anyways, I haven't seen the movie. So I just know it's about tennis and Zendaya's in it, and that's all I know. But I haven't seen it. Maybe I'll have to go see it at some point. But I really love the soundtrack to it, and I don't know if there's even one part where they even sing on it. And I know they were kind of thinking, yeah, this is definitely the best soundtrack we ever did. We got to sing on it. I wouldn't say it's as good as their first three releases. It's not as good as the Downward Spiral, not as good as the Fragile, not as good as Broken, but still really good stuff. Really, really love it. Not for first three releases, I'm sorry. First three release, I maybe consider, I think I kind of like it a bit more than Pretty Hate Machine. So Pretty Hate Machine is the first release, that's right. But Anyways, this is a little sticker it comes with. I'm assuming that's like the place that they do tennis at. And there's little cards there on it. And Art Donaldson, I'm assuming that's someone she plays against, I'm assuming. And Patrick Zweig, I'm assuming it's another person she plays against. Yep. Anyways, that's about it for that. Okay. Next up, we have the new Blood Incantation album, the Colorado death metal band. So this is one of the craziest metal releases I've heard in a long time. So this album takes a lot of influence from 70s German electronic music like Tangerine Dream and Klaus Schulze and stuff like that. With the Moog synthesizer and all this stuff. And what they made is a very spacey, very unique like death metal album that it almost seems like if Pink Floyd made a death metal album, this is what it would sound like, I think. There's a lot of parts that just really sound like Pink Floyd, some of the lighter parts. So very psychedelic, and it's also only 2 songs. So the first one is 20 minutes, the other one is 23 minutes. And it's kind of like, I don't know, like, what do they call it? Like movements or something, I guess. But they kind of just have it set as templates, like template 1, template 2, template 3. I don't know. It's still a really good release, and you can tell from the German influence. The opening on side, instead of saying side 1, it says site 1, which is German for side. Really cool cover art too. Really, really like it a lot. And maybe not my top 10, but it's definitely one of the best metal albums I've heard this decade, I would always say. Really, really good stuff. Like it a lot. And next up, this is what might be, I'm surprised that the Jordy Grief album isn't my #1 of the year. Maybe it'll be, I don't know, again, I don't know. Maybe this will somehow grow off of me, but I'm loving this. So this is the new Mount Eerie album, Night Palace. It's an hour and 20 minutes long, 26 songs, and it's good all the way through. It's one of the best albums I've heard this decade, easily. Really, really good stuff. One thing I'm kind of mixed on, if you saw the other video, is the way it's packaged. So you're maybe wondering why I'm taking these records out. This is the first one. This is the other one. And then this is not a jacket. You're like, what? Maybe you can tell it's not a jacket. I was kind of wondering because my brother took a picture of it and said, look, it came for you. And I was wondering why it was creased. But then I soon found out when I got home, and it's like this. Hold on. Oh,
That hurt?
I don't know what it is. It's a painting. Probably made for Dylan. This is what
It's
is
like a
holding
big mountain with water.
Yeah, it's like a huge, enormous poster. Whoa. So I cannot put this in my room. I don't know what I'm obviously not going to use it because I need something to hold the records in. I don't know how I feel about that because I kind of would feel it would not be the safest to hold it. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe this is a efficient way of holding or protecting a record from shattering or whatever, but I don't know. I'll still probably have to be safe with it. Now, difficult
What is
part.
that?
I don't know.
It's a frog. He's after a frog.
What?
It's after
No,
a frog.
no, those are-
I seen frog on it.
It's a mountain. It's not a frog, it's a mountain. Yeah. Alright. Anyways, hold this back up. And it's very, very, very musically diverse. It features like a lot of different.
Do you like it with the wood frames?
Oh yeah, that's fine.
I mean, that would neat if you take your pictures and frames.
Oh, I don't think.
Then you do your whole room.
So difficult to pull up. I think I made that wrong. Yeah, I did that wrong. Hold on. see what I did wrong. Alright, so anyways, this album's very musically diverse and features a lot of diverse, I don't know, I'm repeating myself, I'm so sorry. But anyways, there's a lot of stuff to be heard on here. There's some sounds that I was very surprised that he would do. So there's one song that just kind of goes into a trap instrumental out of nowhere, which sounds silly, but the song is actually really pretty. It's called I Talk to a Fish or something like that, I think. It's crazy how really long, really weak moments on this. There's some electronic here. There's one song that's just a noise rock, like noise grindcore song. Just kind of goes out of nowhere. It's crazy. Let's see here. I got this. No, or not. It wasn't a rip, by the way, as anyone's concerned. It wasn't a rip. I'm still figuring out how exactly I do this. This is probably going to be one of the most annoying things for to put a record together. Record case thing. Yeah. Maybe I got it this time. Let's see. Yeah. Okay. There we go. Now I got it. All right. And yeah. Anyways, very musically diverse. Features like a lot of. And also, I really love the last song, New Eyes. That's like probably one of the prettiest songs I've heard in a long, long time. And I really love the single I Walk. I kind of just knew from the single I Walk that this is going to be a crazy, absolutely insane, beautiful album. So, but I didn't expect it to become my album of the year, potentially. But yeah, really exceeded my expectations with it. And might be the best release Phil ever did. Really, really loving it. All right. Well, like that's about it.
Wow. But you got a lot of money tied up in that, don't you?
I don't know. I didn't buy them all together. I just yeah. Like some of them I bought like months apart. You know. Anyways, that's about it. Thank you guys for watching. Bye.